Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Philly Real Estate Talk. I am Mike McCann, the real estate man. We are live, and we come to you from WBCB 1490 AM. That is the voice of the Eagles radio station, Merle Reese's, just so you know. We're on radio Thursday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., but we come to you live now. You can also view us at radio.mccanteam.com. or radio@mccanteam.com. So thanks for joining us. I am so grateful. I am so excited today because first, the market started to pick back up, and I'm on the front line, so I'm not going to give you all these stats, but I am on the front line in the trenches every day, 12, 14 hours a day. And last weekend, I had so many offers come in. I was saying to everybody, it's like the springtime again. It was just fantastic. So this is our fall season, and typically second, third week in September, right up till Thanksgiving, is when the residential market, at least in the downtown market, picks up. And time and time again, my 32 years, it just never, it always happens. Good market, bad market. So it's starting to pick back up a little bit. We'll probably never have 2017 that spring again, but it's a good market. But I have two guests today, and I'm really, really excited because in my years in real estate, I see people come in, they make a big impact, and they're racing a mile a minute, and then 5 years later, they're gone. I see people come in for different reasons, just to make money or just I don't know, a lot of different people. I've met many people in real estate. Today, I'm going to introduce you to someone you probably heard of, Vince Viney from V2 Properties. This is a man and a company who I totally respect big time. He's a niche market, building homes from 300 to about $1 million. And probably on the average price is probably in the 400 price range. It's a great market for our first-time buyers, and I'll let him tell you more about that. Quality product, quality company, great family man, and he has the right integrity. And I'll have him tell you more about himself, but to me, Vince has been doing things. His company is very important to him. His family is very important to him. His customers are very important to him. His reputation. And it's consistent. And so we love getting to know people, dealing with people, and working with people. I also have Jim on my team who works a lot with Vince. And so I'm going to bring them on. But Vince has built all downtown and all the neighborhoods. I mean, he built so many homes. It's funny, I was opening up the real estate, the business journal, and it had the top builders. And I see Toll Brothers, New Orleans, whatever, a bunch of them. And then I see V2 Properties down there, man. So he's really made a statement, but he's a great product, and the people love him. What's most important to us is we sell his product. Our customers like it. We don't hear anything. They did bad stucco. They did this. His customers love it, and the transactions are smooth. But so without any further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Vince, and I'm going to actually introduce you to Jim first. This is Jim Onesti. Jim, hey. Say hello.
Hello.
Stop writing. Put your smile to the camera. This is Jim Onesti. He's the bestie. Okay. Jim's been with me 20 years, and he works a lot with Vince. So Jim's here also. But Vince, I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. And V2 Properties, how long have you been in existence?
Well, first, Mike, thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure, man.
It's an honor to be here with you, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
So we've been in existence under a previous name since 2004.
Okay.
Had a partnership, and then that partnership ceased to exist, and then we started V2 Properties in 2012.
Okay.
And that's when the formation of V2 came. But in terms of our origins, go back to 2004.
Gotcha. Okay. And prior to building, what did you do prior to being a builder?
I was a customer, and I was a corporate citizen, a corporate employee, living in that world, which didn't give me the satisfaction I needed in a career. So I spent a lot of time, working up that corporate ladder, buying multiple houses as I worked my way up the corporate ladder, and then I see myself as a customer. Okay. I was I'll call it the victim of various builders. I won't name those builders' names.
That's funny. I love it.
So what I came to experience is that I was always interested in real estate, always interested in development, and what we've done differently is, I vowed to not treat customers the way I felt I was treated. Builders' typical approach is they wear you down. They try to get you to give up on the small things rather than do the right thing and do the small things. And they're right. They win because, I grew up in Philadelphia and Kensington, and I learned to do things myself. Frame houses.
Local boy does good, man. I love that too. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no doubt about that. So, you get to learn to do things around. So they wore me down, and I eventually did the little things myself. So their strategy worked well. But it always left a bad taste in my mouth. And then I go out to the, in the cul-de-sac and the neighborhood barbecues, and all the neighbors would complain and spend, hours complaining about the builder, and everyone's telling their horror stories. And I thought, boy, there's got to be a better way than this. And, I don't know if those developers weren't making any money. The one I know does very well are in existence now and continue to thrive. So I don't think it came down to did they have the financial wherewithal to do the right thing. There's a cost to doing the right thing. And they didn't want to spend that money.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. So that's crazy. So you saw a niche and said, they're not doing it right. I could probably do this right. And I never heard it said that way, that, they wear you down so you don't worry about the small things, and there are more complaints. That's why, I know I tell you this all the time when we get together, but that's why I respect and appreciate what your company's consistently been able to do. I mean, you've built and sold hundreds and hundreds of homes, and every one, it's not like, every one you back up, every one is quality, every one is detail. How do you manage, handling all that?
Well, you have to have a good team to support you. I mean, you have to have a separate process for warranty work outside. You can't run your development business all in the same bowl of resources that you run your warranty. So you have to have a separate warranty department who handles that, and they have to be dedicated resources that handle warranty work. When you're trying to, prioritize development work and warranty work, development work is where the company makes money. Warranty work is where the company spends money. So when you have those resources conflicting, unfortunately, if you're an owner that doesn't act with the highest level of integrity, you're going to probably chase the money and defer the warranty work, which is where you spend money. So we just made the decision, we're going to have X amount of resources allocated to warranty work, X amount of resources that you're going to handle development work, and that way we're not constantly having conflicts and having all kinds of ethical decisions to make. These are our resources. This is what they do. Now, do we get to everyone, the second day? No, we try to be realistic, but we schedule you, and the main thing is when we schedule you, we show up. We're there when we say we're going to be there.
Jim, have you even heard of another builder with a separate warranty company?
Right, not at all.
That's unbelievable.
That's kind of your corporate background. I think that's where it comes into play, and it's an advantage for you because we see a lot of developers they're carpenters, and they can swing a hammer, and they're very talented with their hands. But as their business grows and they really have to start interacting with customers and people and subcontractors, and they're in charge of everything, it falls apart for them because they have no business experience.
Sure.
You have business experience, years, decades of it.
Sure.
And I think it's really helped you just build a phenomenal brand and quality control and hiring the right people, and it's really paid off.
Sure. I mean, I spent years in the corporate world, and while it wasn't the most exciting work, it taught me the discipline of running a business. And that's where I look back and think, now I get to do something I love doing, and I get to apply what came as a result of the boredom of the corporate world. I get to apply the skills that I've learned into something I have passion for. And that's what's exciting to me is we run this like a business. And it's interesting as we've grown, I look at the large corporations and you wonder, why is all this red tape there? How does this happen? You kind of learn over time, though, to get big, you have to have controls. You have to have repeatable processes. With those things comes some red tape. So even we find ourselves that things we don't tend to be able to be, as nimble as we used to be because we have to create repeatable processes that we can depend on. And some folks that joined this little V2 Properties, 6-7 years ago, they're seeing how we're changing. But to me, we're changing for the good because the process creates consistency. you can act with emotion. You can run hot on warranty work this week and get back to development work, and the warranty people love you for that week, and then the development sits. But with processes, you can be consistent, and that's. But with that, it kind of starts to take on a more corporate feel. So I'm trying to balance not becoming that big, slow-moving corporation, but at the same time staying quick, nimble, and able to pivot quickly.
But that's what I love about you, because it's like a team family. Like, you care about the vendors that work for you. You care about your employees. You care about the people that are in all aspects of your business. You meet with them. You're very, very involved. But I understand it's a little bit like my business. We have we call them our checklists and our systems. And as we grow, sometimes you can't act as fast. But the one thing that I noticed with you is that you meet with your people. You want to make sure that they're loyal to you, that they jump. Just like if a customer contacts me and I need something done, I'm there. I take care of it, right away. And again, like in 2007, how many homes did you sell versus in 2017?
Yes.
I mean, what's the difference?
Oh, it's hundreds of homes. Year difference.
Sure. Exactly. And each year, but your growth. Because I've seen so many people, when they come in and they do really good, and then they become big shots, and then they try to do things outside of their niche, or they become too cocky, and then 5, 6, 8 years later, they're in bankruptcy and they're out of business. The one thing I've respected about you both your the chemistry of how you function and your business is, it's steady growth, it's consistent, and it's not changing your standards, and you're still the same guy that you were 10 years ago. I mean, with more knowledge and stuff. But I mean, wouldn't you say that, Jim?
Absolutely. And I mean, we know you, both of us. You're a humble dude, but you are one of the best builders in the business. So I think the public looks at developers or someone like you, and they're like, he's on his boat 4 days a week. He's probably golfing 5 days a week, vacations.
Yeah.
But the truth is quite the opposite. And,
Sure.
You work so hard, and most people don't realize what's involved with being a developer, the work
Sure.
and the risk. And I know from being with both of you guys, I mean, midnight, 1 a.m., I look at my phone and I have emails from you and Mike, and you guys are working all night long.
Sure.
So if you can just touch on that, like just how hard you work at this, and it's not something that just happens.
I mean, the first thing is that, my cell phone's on the website. It's on our website, and people use it. There are times, there are days where I get calls that maybe, are calls that my team could field, but, I got to stand behind our company and our reputation. And there's no reason why my cell phone can't be on the website, because I don't need to hide from anyone. If we're doing the right thing, we don't need to hide from anyone. So, I think that's essential, that people call and they say, I can't believe you're answering the phone. They can't believe I'm on the other end of the phone when they call. I say, yeah, I mean, when I'm not on another line, I'm on the call that you're calling me on. So that's a no-brainer. And to me, that's the only way it's the only way to even operate, to make sure that you're available to people, you're a resource. As you get big, you got to remember what got us to where we are.
Exactly.
I mean, treating people and there's so many times I'll say to my team, they'll ask me, how, what do you want to do here? And the question's simple. If you were in that buyer or homeowner's shoes, what would you want done for your home?
Beautiful.
Just be fair about
Beautiful.
it. I'm principle based. It doesn't mean the answer is always yes, because truthfully, I try to say, how would I want to be treated in that situation? And that brings you to the right answer every time. So the first thing I ask my team members is, I've had some, fortunate folks who've done well with their careers. They've bought multiple new construction homes. They've dealt with the various builders. And the answer is, and I said, well, how would you have wanted to be treated when you bought that new home? And it brings us to the right place all the time.
We're going to take a break right now. We are going to be back. We are not letting Vince out of the room, okay? Thanks a lot. I'm Mike McCann, the real estate man. Berkshire Hathaway, Fox & Roach Realtors. 215-440-8345. I love Philly because of the historic character. But what's amazing about Philly is it's such a city of neighborhoods. So when you move into a community, it's not just living in this big city. You get to know your neighbors. You bump into people in the street. The energy is awesome. I'm Mike McCann, the real estate man.
I've been working with Mike McCann for 18 years. Mike is the Michael Jordan of the real estate industry, the best of all time.
This is not a job, this is my life. I love the city, I love my clients, and I love my team because it's my family.
And you want to know why, what makes him the real estate man. And it's not just his tenacity and his drive, but he also passes that on to the team.
And when you're working on a great team, a lot comes from the leadership, the work ethic, character, and Mike's been able to really pass on a lot of his great qualities throughout our team.
It is infectious.
My team is the most important thing. Together, we are so much better than if we were individually. And I love my assistants, and I love my agents, and I am committed to them.
His drive becomes your drive. He just doesn't stop.
Mike is the best in the industry. He's been around for a long time. Knowing Mike, the best for today might not be enough for tomorrow. There's always room to grow.
We work diligently every day to make sure that your home buying or selling process is as seamless as it can possibly be.
We all support each other. We all work like crazy, and we all have respect for each other. And that's the most important thing, the chemistry.
The one thing that really keeps the Mike McCann team as a cohesive unit is not just Mike himself, but our commitment to each and every one of our clients.
It's a joy and a pleasure to work with the best. And that not only means our staff, our support staff, our teammates, but also our clients. They all feel the same way, like, hey, you should use the McCann team. That sentiment is what success is to us.
And we do so much more than just sell. We help them in many, many ways.
To not just be a realtor, but to be their strategic partner, someone they can count on.
Most of the clients does not know what's behind the scene. There are so many steps in order for us to make something happen.
Being the best is progress. It's always doing better than the day before.
So when you're working with the best team, sellers can be assured that they're going to get the highest price possible in the best amount of time. Buyers are going to get the perfect home for them.
That's really where the quality is in the results.
We are #1 in the Philadelphia area. We're #1 in the entire Berkshire Hathaway network.
We enjoy the challenge of living up to that expectation.
And that shows in our record. We're driven, we're dedicated, and working diligently day in and day out to make sure that every transaction is as smooth as possible.
I'm Mike McCann, the real estate man. I've helped thousands of buyers and sellers, but I never did it alone. My team was with me the whole way. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Philly Real Estate Talk. And I am Mike McCann, the real estate man. I love Berkshire Hathaway, Fox and Roach Realty. Historic character. 215-440-8345 or radio.mccannteam.com. And we're going to get back with Vince in a few seconds. I brought Laura on from Trident Mortgage. This is our primary lender who does all the financing from our little homes to big monster homes to everything in between. So Laura, and she's with the Trident here in the Jeremy Durkin Group. Tell us about interest rates and what's going on in the marketplace with financing.
Sure. Happy to be here.
Because we need you to buy Vince's home.
We do. We don't have that many cash buyers out there, and we certainly want to make these homes available to all people. So we've got interest rates that did hit a 4-month high recently.
Okay.
So, but they're edging up. So some days they'll have a little adjustment downward, and we really personally manage all of our clients so we can watch that.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, but in general, the trend is going upward, and we want to catch those, few moments or strategize the loan program so that the buyer's really benefiting, and in the long run, they can have more affordability. You can put in some more options, and we can help them with that. Yeah. So
what's a 30-year fixed rate right now about?
I think we're hanging out in the high 4s. So 4.75, give or
Okay.
take.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, because a year ago, what was that a year ago?
Oh, goodness gracious.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just
There was
saying.
a 3 in front of it,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
3.875 for sure.
Yeah. And what I try to tell people, and I sound like a snake oil salesman, is next year, what will they be? You know what I mean? They're not going to be crazy. They're not going to be when I was buying, 11, 12%, but they're going to be 5.5%.
Yeah, we're starting to see the 5 in front of some of the numbers, and that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's so.
It's all relative.
It's all relative.
However, we've noticed that the lower the rates are, the more sensitive buyers are to just that little bit of movement. So
Right. Because it's such a big, 3.75 versus 4.75 or versus 5.75. But I'm told over the next year and a half, there's 3 hikes that are the Fed's going to have
Correct.
three hikes. And they might be small hikes, but that's going to bring it into the 5s. I'm telling people probably about 5.5 is what I guess by 2020.
Yeah.
So, and I make it simple because for people I always say, well, if it's a 4% loan on $100,000, it's $400 a month, and that might be wrong, but it's pretty close. If it's 5%, it's $500 a month.
Correct.
If it's 6%, it's $600 a month.
Right.
And then I tell them when I bought in '87, it was 11%. So $100,000 loan costs you $1,100 a month.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
true. But
people need to buy now. They need to lock in. Need to lock in now. Have you seen the market pick up a little bit? Like I had a great week last week. Have you seen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We definitely we're a good barometer because when those pre-approvals come in, those applications, people are kind of done with their summer vacation. School started. They're looking to maybe make a purchase even before the holidays, and this is the big crunch. So we've gotten much busier, and even still, we've got some buyers that are thinking about next spring. And we always enjoy when they're ahead of the game. We can help them plan better and be in a stronger position when the time comes.
Gotcha. Okay, so tell us where people can reach you.
Oh, yes. Let's see, Laura, your leading lender, and then with the Durkin team. Yeah, I got my tagline.
I love it. I love it.
610-731-4415. Of course, Trident Mortgage, Durkin team is where you can find us on the web.
And what's that email? Or how should they go in?
They should go into tridentmortgage.com and look for Jeremy Durkin, and then our page will come up.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Super.
I want to get Jimmy back in here. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. And wherever Jeremy is, I hope he's having fun. Thank you. So we're back with Vince Viney from V2 Properties. And they have these cool little cars. You might have seen them. How many of those do you have?
We have 4 of them.
They are awesome. What kind of cars are they?
Smart cars.
Smart cars, man. And they have. I wish we should have a picture of one here, Jim.
Yeah.
They are awesome. And zoom in on his shirt right here, okay? Jim, do we have any of those shirts?
I've got all kinds of shirts.
Yeah, I have to get one.
Mike, I have them in the car right now.
Okay, I'm going to go down.
I'm loaded for bear today, Mike. You got it. You got it. You
Nice.
got it.
I love it. Jim, you have any more questions? Well, one thing we talked about earlier is, everybody thinks, well, the builders, they make all the money. You know what I mean? They don't realize all the personal sacrifice, the financial risk. On every development or every I know, you're pretty good. You're pretty safe. You have good resources, good thing. But in your 14-year history in doing this, have you made money on every project?
Certainly haven't. No, we certainly haven't.
Yes. Like people have that perception. Oh, he's just a big builder. And what I also like too is, so many people come into this luxury and they're doing these $1, $2 million, $3 million houses, condos. Yet our biggest market are the millennials, 26 to 35. That's where, if you did statistics, that's where the market is in town. And not many builders are affording that. And that's that 3 to 5 price range. I mean, it's a regular. Yeah, we love selling $700,000, $800,000 properties or $1 million, but that's a big thing. So that's the one thing I respect about your business. You're staying true to who you are. Yes, it's nice to do a luxury one, and you do luxury ones. Don't get me wrong, but that's a big niche that very few builders are filling. So
yeah, you're right, Mike. We really work hard to try to bring, if it's a $300,000 price point, we want that to feel like a $500,000 house for that buyer. If it's a $500,000 price point, we want it to feel like $1 million home to that buyer in terms of the value that they're feeling.
Excellent.
So, but we have to keep our pricing affordable. So we're always challenging our suppliers to give the amenities that, to me, have the greatest impact to our buyers, but at the same time keep the cost down. So, we're excited. We have this one package now we're getting ready to roll out where, we're going to start taking, and it's challenging because a lot of the automation right now and smart and homes is built around Wi-Fi. Well, it's hard to show Wi-Fi capabilities in a home that doesn't have Wi-Fi turned on, which at the listing stage, Wi-Fi is not turned on. So we're going to tap into a technology called Z-Wave, which allows all the technology of home automation to work without a Wi-Fi signal. So now in our homes, we're going to be piloting several homes coming into the next couple of months where folks are going to go into the home alarm panel on an app on the phone. The realtor, the buyer, they're going to open the door with an app. So rather than you guys giving a lockbox, we're going to have them download an app to their phone. Awesome. They're going to open the front door with the app. Once they get into the home, there's going to be obviously a front door camera in there. Inside the home on the panel, they're going to be able to have home automation. We're going to automate 3 light switches in the house. We're going to pick the living area, the kitchen, and the third floor master. So we're going to give instructions on how to use that home automation. Just to give a sense, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So, front door camera, the front door lock's going to be automated, home automation with regard to the web camera, and some home automation on light switches. All can be shown without Wi-Fi, which will be a pretty and that's just, again, the capabilities from there. I mean, in my home, I'm one of these tech geeks where, like, every light in my house, I got the switches all automated. So I got obsessed with this whole thing because I think it's so cool. But to me, we're going to give people a nice taste of it to see what it's like. But it just shows them that as their resources change, they can automate every light in their homes. And we're excited because, again, and by the way, that same package is going to have automatically built in 3 years of home monitoring. That's built into the package as well. It comes free of charge to the homeowner.
Wow.
So we're excited about that. And again, all at the, as you said, our specialty is really $300,000 to $500,000.
Right.
There's not many, to me, developers that can offer those amenities and stay within that price point. So we're excited about that.
Yeah.
For one of your homes for $320,000, let's say. It's new construction, 3 bedrooms, 3 full baths, full roof deck, gorgeous windows in brick, not just stucco, but brick fronts,
Sure.
Nest thermostats, video doorbells. Every one of your master bedrooms has that cool tray ceiling with accent lighting. Wet bar going up to the roof deck. We don't even get wet bars in $1 million homes most of the time.
Yeah.
So all that's in there for these great prices. That's why people follow your brand. Like, we get emails every week. What else do they have in this neighborhood? What else do they have in that neighborhood?
Sure.
You show me emails that you get
Sure.
from buyers, brokers, other builders, just asking what you have coming. It's crazy. You've built an amazing brand with a real, true, loyal following.
Sure. And it's interesting. We don't want our product to get stale. So we're always trying to figure out, as you saw, we put the new window packages in all the homes. We've changed all the vanities, the vanity tops. We changed the tile schemes to get a little lighter, brighter, more airy. So we're trying to spend money in the right places to keep our buyers excited and wanting to see our product. So not to say, we've seen a V2 Properties home.
Right.
Well, if you've seen a V2 Properties home in the last, 4 or 5 months, I'd ask you to come back out and look again, because in the next 4 to 5 months, you're going to see something a little different.
And that's great. Yes, what works great is great, and then and it's good to stay with that. But at a certain point, you have to alter that because things
sure.
change.
And then we'll trial and error. And as Jim said, we went to the Nest package, so now the temperature controls all home automated. So we're trying to kind of get at that luxury look and feel for a first-time home buyer price point.
Yeah. But the other thing to me that I see for you and how you're changing neighborhoods. I mean, some of the areas that you've gone into, just run down blocks. You start to build on there. People start to move in. Other people start to follow. I mean, it's literally where for 40, 50, 60 years, nothing ever happened. And now you're going in and these, mostly, young people are buying these, bringing life, and other people are fixing their house. So isn't that rewarding when you drive through town or you're walking through town and saying, we did this, we did that? I mean, Isn't that really rewarding?
It's incredibly special to me, and we haven't gotten to the neighborhood I grew up in yet, but I can't wait till we get there. But yeah, to see these neighborhoods change and transform in front of our eyes, and even I'll even take a block like the 400 block of Mercy. We
have to go to a break right now, but we're going to pick back up on this as soon as we get back, because this is really important. It's not just about money; it's about building. We will get back to you. I am Mike McCann, the real estate man, Berkshire Hathaway, Fox and Roach Realtors. We are here with Vince Viney at V2 Properties, the best builder in town, and be back.
I love Philly because of the historic character. But what's amazing about Philly is it's such a city of neighborhoods. So when you move into a community, it's not just living in this big city. You get to know your neighbors, you bump into people in the street. The energy is awesome. I'm Mike McCann, the real estate man.
I've been working with Mike McCann for 18 years. Mike is the Michael Jordan of the real estate industry, the best of all time.
This is not a job, this is my life. I love the city, I love my clients, and I love my team because it's my family.
And you want to know why, what makes him the real estate man. And it's not just his tenacity and his drive, but he also passes that on to the team.
And when you're working on a great team, a lot comes from the leadership, the work ethic, character, and Mike's been able to really pass on a lot of his great qualities throughout our team.
It is infectious.
My team is the most important thing. Together, we are so much better than if we were individually. And I love my assistants, and I love my agents, and I am committed to them.
His drive becomes your drive. He just doesn't stop.
Mike is the best in the industry. He's been around for a long time. Knowing Mike, the best for today might not be enough for tomorrow. There's always room to grow.
We work diligently every day to make sure that your home buying or selling process is as seamless as it can possibly be.
We all support each other. We all work like crazy, and we all have respect for each other. And that's the most important thing, the chemistry.
The one thing that really keeps the Mike McCann team as a cohesive unit is not just Mike himself, but our commitment to each and every one of our clients.
It's a joy and a pleasure to work with the best. And that not only means our staff, our support staff, our teammates, but also our clients. They all feel the same way, like, hey, you should use the McCann team. That sentiment is what success is to us.
And we do so much more than just sell. We help them in many, many ways.
To not just be a realtor, but to be their strategic partner, someone they can count on.
Most of the clients does not know what's behind the scene. There are so many steps in order for us to make something happen.
Being the best is progress. It's always doing better than the day before.
So when you're working with the best team, sellers can be assured that they're going to get the highest price possible in the best amount of time. Buyers are going to get the perfect home for them.
That's really where the quality is in the results.
We are #1 in the Philadelphia area. We're #1 in the entire Berkshire Hathaway network.
We enjoy the challenge of living up to that expectation.
And that shows in our record. We're driven, we're dedicated, and working diligently day in and day out to make sure that every transaction is as smooth as possible.
I'm Mike McCann, the real estate man. I've helped thousands of buyers and sellers, but I never did it alone. My team was with me the whole way.
Welcome back to Philadelphia Real Estate Talk. I am Mike McCann, the real estate man, Berkshire Hathaway, Fox and Roach Realtors. And we handle downtown, Center City, and all the surrounding neighborhoods, which there are many. And we come to you on WBCB 1490 AM, the voice of the Eagles real estate station, Merle Reese's. You can reach us at radio.mccanteam.com or 215-440-8345. So again, we have we were just before we went to break. We were talking to Vince about the changing of neighborhoods. That that's why. Yeah, we love to make money. We have to support our family. We have to support our people we work with. But the sense that you get, I get it for you. Just seeing what you do in changing a neighborhood. I mean, tell me about that. What's that like for you, Vince?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, the story I was getting ready to tell was, 400 block of Mercy Street, a.k.a. where we now refer to affectionately as Vineyville.
Yep.
We look at that street now. We built 3 houses on there to start. And this is where we got everything going in that whole Whitman-Dickinson narrow corridor. And I look at that block now. We now since built 7 or 8 homes on that block. But what I'm most fascinated by is not the change that we made to the block, but the change that the neighbors who already lived on that block made to their own homes. And that's exciting because I'll tell you, we first start building, and there was 2 or 3 homes down the block, spray paint on the front of the homes. I mean, a high potential block, but, it seemed like, somewhat to an extent a bit blighted. Looking back on a neighborhood now what do we see? There's all the spray paint's been removed. We didn't remove that spray paint. Flower pots, trees on the street, people taking pride in their neighborhood again. And I'm excited about the fact that maybe in some strange way we help them see the potential in their own neighborhood because we believed in their neighborhood. And I think it changes people's behavior.
Just a quick story. One of my first properties I bought in 1988 was on the 2000 block of South 4th. So I was waiting for that to come around. And I planted a couple trees and put some American flags on. Nothing changed. And then I built a house across the street on the corner of 4th and Emily, or 2012 South 4th Street. But it was so bad. And that helped. But I didn't change it. You came in and changed the neighborhood. You know what I mean? So I've been waiting for that to come around since 1988. What's that, 30 years?
Yeah.
But you came in and changed that. That's why just filling that hole in and go north and south, that 4th, the 6th area street. So I'm grateful because I've been hoping for that area for so long. But you actually, what you did impacted, and I love how the neighbors follow. Yeah.
His last name is Viney.
Yeah.
So around town, we started hearing about this new neighborhood called Vineyville. And we're like, wait a minute.
You know that guy. Yeah. I think we need to change it. We need to put that on the map.
Yeah. No, it's exciting. We're still very heavily invested in that area, and still, we probably have another 35 homes in the process now in that area.
That's great, man. I love it.
And do you see? You talked about the neighborhoods the neighbors cleaning up their homes, but do you also see a chain reaction when you start in one of these neighborhoods where other builders come in and they say, "Hey, V2's there. There's a lot going on. This might be a good, safe area now to invest our money and create jobs and build our homes there."
Sure. I mean, it's a strong positive. But the unintended consequences that we have certain neighborhoods where we really were excited. Like take that area, the Dickinson area. We wanted to
Vineyville.
We wanted to maintain a price point that was in perhaps high 2s, low 3s, and make a reasonable profit because at those numbers, the margins aren't great, but we were comfortable with the changes we were making to the neighborhood. The unintended consequence, Jim, is that while it's exciting, other developers coming in, all of a sudden the price points start to escalate. Right. I think
because you have to pay more for the
beyond reason. And unfortunately, I had a great meeting with Councilman Clark about his assistant Jeffrey Young about maybe a month and a half ago, and we talk about affordable homes, workforce housing, and to me, in the high 2s, low 3s, it certainly qualifies at that price point. Problem is, we've seen these prices escalate. So now in that area where we started, our mission was to build affordable homes. Prices are now high 3s, now breaking the 4s.
Right.
And Mike, to your point, the acquisition of a lot gets to a point where it's unreasonable to continue to offer that product at that price.
Went from $40,000 to $130,000 for a lot.
For a lot.
Yeah,
and that's unfortunately. So it is exciting, and it's exciting to see others follow. But unfortunately. In a way, we want the market to continue to grow, but me personally, I love a nice flat market that's steady. Kind of like we like to be consistent. I like the market to be consistent too.
Yeah.
So just this morning, I ran through 2 of your new homes, which we're going to bring to the market, 441 and 443 Dudley.
Yep.
And I see a lot of your homes. I'm in and out of dozens of them. And I went into these 2, and I noticed a few new new details, new
Sure.
things.
Yeah.
The windows are larger, or they feel larger. You're doing
Sure.
an extra bedroom downstairs.
Yeah, the optional fourth bedroom.
Flexible fourth bedroom in
Sure.
the basement.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you stay on top of all these changes? You know, it's
Well,
like you two are very similar. You build hundreds of homes. He sells hundreds of properties, but each of you are so involved in every little thing.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
I have a great team, but my errors, I'm too controlling. So the tile, the windows, unfortunately, I haven't been willing to turn that over to anyone.
Yeah.
So all the design packages, et cetera, I'm directly involved in all that. But to me, you know, every house is like a child of mine, right? I mean, and I'm going to, I'm leaving here and going to we have a monthly general contractor meeting. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
They're babysitting my child.
Awesome.
Okay? Until we sell it, it's my child. So if you're going to leave your child with somebody, you got to leave with people you trust.
Yeah.
So these are my children, and
they know that, so they're going to be on their A game.
Yeah.
Or they're going.
It's true. Very well said. Yeah. I mean, we're trying. So that to me, it's our name, our reputation, it's the impact we're having, and to me, you have to have good quality people around you, and as you grow, grow the people around you, hopefully you give a little bit more of that control over to others. But right now, I'm not there. I'm very involved in every detail.
Yeah, right. Leadership starts at the top, right?
Yeah.
You set an example for your people, and nobody works harder than you. That GC or your staff, they can't say, oh, well, Vince doesn't work that hard, so I'm not going to work that hard. You work harder than
they work
everybody.
hard, but they're not going to take shots at my work ethic.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
right.
But I won't take it with theirs because these guys have a hard job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny, no, but it's like a lot of people say to me, Mike, why do you still work so hard? Why? This is who I am. This is who you are.
Yeah.
This is what you do. I mean, you enjoy this, right?
Sure.
I mean, there's a million moving parts all the time. There's lots of stress, but there's lots of rewards. And would you rather be doing anything else right now?
No, I wouldn't. In fact, when I left corporate America and we were going to grow the company at the level we did, my wife said, I don't even want to hear this. You're going to work less hours, have more control. She's like, you are going to work more hours than you've ever worked because that's who you are. And you know what? I hate to admit it, but she's right.
Yeah.
And it is. I mean, I'll stop doing what I'm doing. I'll turn on the TV for 10 minutes and I'll think, I don't feel like I'm adding any value right now sitting in front of the television, just taking up space. But we try to get some downtime, but it is who we are.
That's the one thing. I always tell people, being successful in business is fantastic and rewarding, and treating the people you work with is rewarding. But having a successful family and a happy family, and even though we work all the time, spending time with your family. I know that's very important. And because there's got to be advantages. I mean, I'm a psycho work animal, but I make sure I spend time with my wife, my children, and stuff like that. So tell me about that. How was that? Because I know you're a good family man. You have a son and a daughter.
Yep, I have two older girls that live out in California.
Okay.
Yeah, that are both one married with a granddaughter of mine who's 3 years old.
Okay.
And my other with a baby on the way that lives Northern California, Southern California.
Don't be going there.
Yeah.
You got to stay here.
No, I'm
okay,
not.
Okay,
No, I'm
okay.
not.
Just
I'm
making sure, man.
Yeah. And
He's staying. You heard that.
And then I have my son, and my son just is at University of Alabama right now. Recently moved down there, as we were talking about earlier on the break. A little homesick.
Yeah.
And then my daughter, who's in her junior year of high school. So yeah, we really try to maximize our time on vacations because it is such a hectic pace during the work week. And so weekends, I try to steal a Saturday where my wife and we don't do anything glamorous. The fun of our Saturday sometimes is a trip to Costco. I mean, it's not that fancy.
Right.
So we try to do that. But vacations, we try to really try to spend that time together. So
it's the only time you can relax. Like if I'm around, I'm working. You know what I mean? It's hard to relax at home, so I have to go away. But
so we try to do that, and I try to compress even while I'm on vacation. I try to compress as much work as I can to the mornings, and then free up for the rest of the day. So.
My people here say you're worse when you're on vacation than you are because I'm just sitting in front of my phone or my computer.
Right. Yeah.
But that's good because I know that's important to you, and that's what I say. Sometimes people are very successful, but everybody hates them. Their kids don't talk to them. Their wives. That's not success to me.
Yeah.
So
I'm lucky. I have a very supportive wife and family, and they understand what we do and the commitment that it takes to do it. So yeah, I'm fortunate.
Yeah.
So
It's funny. I always say my wife allows me to succeed because she handles so much and allows me to succeed.
Right.
Sure.
We have one more minute before we have go on break.
Yeah.
Any
I've
other
had the
questions?
pleasure of being at a few of your Christmas parties, and I could say I've never been to a builder or a business's Christmas party like yours.
Right.
It's really cool, really unique what you do. Do you mind talking about
Sure,
it for a minute?
No, not at all. Yeah. So every year we have an annual, call it the Say Thanks event, where we bring our investors in, and we intentionally do it in our home because we think that it's important to open up our home to individuals. So we could open up, we could have it in an event hall. But we actually asked our investors, would you rather us do something maybe on Boathouse Row? And the answer was no. They really like coming into our home.
Yeah.
So, at this point, we've grown it to a point where last year we had about 140 guests. And to me, that's what it's all about, having people into our home and then having an open-air conversation. So I like the fact that our investors get to network, they get to speak to each other, but they also hear the same message. And when I commit to something, they all feel pretty confident that the message is consistent and it's a transparent
It's
environment.
amazing how transparent you are. That's the word I was just going to use. Very transparent, not only to the clients, the people that build your homes, but everybody who works with you. It's just out there. You're out there. You put it out there, and you're not scared. That's great.
I love it. Values. Anyway, we're going to take a break right now. We will come back. We're not letting them go yet. So thanks for listening, and we'll be back shortly on Philly Real Estate Talk. I am Mike McCann, the real estate man. 215-440-8345. And we can sell you one of Vince's homes. So give us a call.
I love Philly because of the historic character. But what's amazing about Philly is it's such a city of neighborhoods. So when you move into a community, it's not just living in this big city. You get to know your neighbors. You bump into people in the street. The energy is awesome. I'm Mike McCann, the real estate man.
I've been working with Mike McCann for 18 years. Mike is the Michael Jordan of the real estate industry, the best of all time.
This is not a job, this is my life. I love the city, I love my clients, and I love my team because it's my family.
And you want to know why, what makes him the real estate man. And it's not just his tenacity and his drive, but he also passes that on to the team.
And when you're working on a great team, a lot comes from the leadership, the work ethic, character, and Mike's been able to really pass on a lot of his great qualities throughout our team.
It is infectious.
My team is the most important thing. Together, we are so much better than if we were individually. And I love my assistants, and I love my agents, and I am committed to them.
His drive becomes your drive. He just doesn't stop.
Mike is the best in the industry. He's been around for a long time. Knowing Mike, the best for today might not be enough for tomorrow. There's always room to grow.
We work diligently every day to make sure that your home buying or selling process is as seamless as it can possibly be.
We all support each other. We all work like crazy, and we all have respect for each other. And that's the most important thing, the chemistry.
The one thing that really keeps the Mike McCann team as a cohesive unit is not just Mike himself, but our commitment to each and every one of our clients.
It's a joy and a pleasure to work with the best. And that not only means our staff, our support staff, our teammates, but also our clients. They all feel the same way, like, hey, you should use the McCann team. That sentiment is what success is to us.
And we do so much more than just sell. We help them in many, many ways.
To not just be a realtor, but to be their strategic partner, someone they can count on.
Most of the clients does not know what's behind the scene. There are so many steps in order for us to make something happen.
Being the best is progress. It's always doing better than the day before.
So when you're working with the best team, sellers can be assured that they're going to get the highest price possible in the best amount of time. Buyers are going to get the perfect home for them.
That's really where the quality is in the results.
We are #1 in the Philadelphia area. We're #1 in the entire Berkshire Hathaway network.
We enjoy the challenge of living up to that expectation.
And that shows in our record. We're driven, we're dedicated, and working diligently day in and day out to make sure that every transaction is as smooth as possible.
I'm Mike McCann, the real estate man. I've helped thousands of buyers and sellers, but I never did it alone. My team was with me the whole way.
Hey, welcome back to Philly Real Estate Talk. I am Mike McCann, the real estate man. Berkshire Hathaway Fox and Roach Realtors. I am here with Vince from V2 Properties. And if you're in the real estate business, you're a salesperson or you're a buyer, you've probably seen one of his properties. You can reach us at radio.mccannteam.com. So we've been talking about, Jim, Vince's properties, V2 properties all over, and they're in all kinds of markets. But where can you buy a V2 property? How can you buy a V2 property? What neighborhoods are they in?
Yeah, well, I mean, some of the neighborhoods are some of the hottest zip codes in the country. Literally, here in Philly, we have some of the hottest zip codes, and it's been broadcasted everywhere. And Vince has homes in all of those neighborhoods: Brewery Town, Fishtown, Kensington. 3 big areas where Vince is building a ton of homes.
Vineyville?
Point Breeze, Vineyville, Graduate Hospital, Queen Village, you name it. If there's a neighborhood downtown, Vince has an inventory there. A lot of these homes start in the high 2s, and they're homes. They're not just condos.
Right.
They're homes, 3-story homes, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, $299.9, $350, $340, $600, $400.
Sure.
So Vince has a great website. He's improving it, but the website now, v2prop.com, has a lot of information on it. We have a whole inventory of yours that we didn't even put up on the MLS.
How do people reach you, Jimmy?
Best way is email, jonesti@mccannteam.com, jonesti@mccannteam.com. And how many homes do we sell all the time of people who maybe bid on one of your homes, they didn't get it, but we move them to another house that's maybe a month away or 2 months away, and we're able to just shift them over, and then they buy that one.
Because not everything's on the market. You know, they're coming on, and I know he has a lot. What other neighborhood? So just tell us the neighborhood you like and where you see things going from a builder standpoint in neighborhoods.
Sure. I mean, we're still heavily committed to Brewery Town. We're still heavily committed to Point Breeze. Vineyville, we're also going to, we're investing very heavily right now in Old Kensington. And then as you get out further west, also out by Temple, and even across the 10th Street, you know, on the east side of Broad Street, we've made a lot of acquisitions in that area for multifamily. Potentially could be rental properties, but we're going to, potentially condo some of those out as well.
It's funny. I just sold a piece of land, 16 houses, for $3 million on 2100 block of North 12th Street.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
Yes.
Okay. And they're from New York, and they're going to build. I think how many did I tell you, Jim? Was it 16 houses?
Yeah,
I think 16 houses.
So
$3 million for land.
That's exactly where we are, Mike. That area right there, we've probably made about 40 or 50 acquisitions.
That's
in
awesome.
The last year and a half. So
there's so much opportunity because there's so much space, right?
So much open space, lots vacant blocks with vacant lots upon vacant lots that can transform very quickly.
And Temple's such a great impact because, what I love lately is so many of the college, not just Temple, Drexel, Penn, are staying in town. You know what I mean? So you have all these young people, smart people staying in town.
Yeah.
And to me, I always say, you have City Hall, just draw a big circle around it.
Yep.
And if it's not hot right now, it will be at some point. But that's great because you can change a neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, to me, South Philly is South Philly. You don't really need to say much more about it. It's a great, stable neighborhood, and it's vast. I think the untapped area is really north of City Hall, all along the Broad Street corridor on both sides. It really is untapped potential. And then, when you look at, even from Shars, when you look at right around Temple to Brewery Town, that whole Sharswood area to me is just primed to be developed. But even there's great opportunities, even right along the Broad Street corridor in North Philly, that I think are really untapped right now.
And it's so convenient. You hop on the subway and you shoot right into town. In 7 minutes, you're at your job.
Yeah, North Philly's been the underdog, but I do think that given what we've seen in the escalation of price points south of City Hall, I think we're going to see a lot more development there. And then, Mike, the other area that we talked a little bit about was maybe developing in an area that we would say would be north of Lehigh. Mm-hmm. We see that as a great potential. Tons of blocks with vacant lots, so we're starting to focus on that area now. When you look at north of Lehigh, and then I would say south of Clearfield, and then east of Frankfort Avenue, and still north of west of Aramingo Avenue. That little corridor right there. We think
you got that blocked out.
We have it blocked out.
Here you come, man.
We're very targeted. Yeah.
But again, I love it because the houses the cops, the firemen, the teachers, the hospital workers can all afford, a $275,000 house, 10-year tax abatement. Yeah. Like Jim said, it's a real house, luxury, unbelievable roof deck, yard, finished basements, 3-4 bedrooms, 3 baths.
Granite,
it's unbelievable.
marble.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah. So that's great. I think that's really important. And I know you won't because I know you. But never change. I mean, never change. Yeah. What else? Because we're just about wrapping up right now. We have a couple minutes. What else do you think people would want to know about Vince, Jim?
Well, I wanted to touch on the website. You're making some cool changes to the website.
Sure.
Making it user-friendly for people to get on there, see what you have in each neighborhood, what's coming. Making it user-friendly so you can do that pretty quickly. I think that's going to be a big hit.
Yeah, it's going to be. Right now we have an active homes page, but it's not real easy to navigate. So we're going to kind of take some of the concepts that the Trulios exist and create like a Trulio V2 property, so to speak, where folks can tap into the search by neighborhood, search by phase. Because, as we talked about, buyers now, as Linda even said, buyers are looking for the spring. Well, they can see our products and when they're going to be developed in our targeted timeline. So they could shop a V2 Properties home now. So in about 3 weeks, we're going to have the website rolled out. But they could shop a V2 Property house now for the spring of next year. And they can see, and again, we have nothing to hide. We're going to show insides, the mechanicals being put in. I mean, we're going to show the guts of these houses as they get developed.
I don't know anyone that's doing that.
Nobody does that.
And the one thing is, he's saying that, so it's going to be done. This isn't just like, I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Like, that's what's awesome. So to me, you're dealing with thousands and thousands of people. That's what I love about dealing with you. You make us look good because you're so darn good and because you want the customer to be good. And it's, and it's not about the dollar. It's about, yes, you have to make it profitable, but it's about bringing value to the community, to the people, and to everybody that's involved with. All your vendors. I mean, the ones that are workers that have the same ethic they're going to be with you for a long time. You know what I mean? We hope to be with you. And the customers will follow you. And that's what we see. I mean, very few builders have done what you've done, especially in such a short period. I know it's since 2004. That's a short period to me.
Yeah.
But especially the last couple years, what you've done.
Well, Mike, and also let me just also say, I mean, I appreciate all the kind words today, but I will tell you, we had a meeting about a month and a half ago, and I feel like our brand deserves a brand like yours, and I appreciate that because your brand is the best in not only the Philadelphia market, southeastern Pennsylvania, and really I could challenge that all the way out to Pittsburgh. So we want to be worthy of your brand. So the same way as you feel about us, we feel about you, and you're a brand that to me, and a quality guy like Jim, I'm thankful for both of you because without you two, we can't do what we do. And to me, your brand has helped us grow tremendously because a buyer who trusts your brand, hopefully they see that we're worthy of a partnership with you.
And I call it same with my team. 1 and 1 is 3.
Yeah.
So that's what we equal together. Like, you could do it without us. We could do it without you.
Sure.
But together, we're not 2, we're 3, and that's what we try to do. But Vince, I really appreciate. So I know you have a board meeting to go to with all your, not just your board or your investors, your contractors.
Yeah, sure.
I really appreciate you taking the time. I was so grateful when Vince said he would come in and speak with us. Jim, you are the man. I mean, Jim's unbelievable.
Yes,
He's
he
so
is.
committed to you. It's unbelievable. Thanks for being here also, Jim. I really appreciate
Pleasure.
it. So look forward to the big things that V2 is going to do over the next couple decades, because we got family coming into the business, probably, hopefully, maybe. We got Vince. He's not going anywhere. He's a young man. And I am Mike McCann, the real estate man, Philly Real Estate Talk. I'm with Berkshire Hathaway, Fox & Roach Realtors, 215-440-8345. And thanks for listening. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.
Jim, thank you.